Ever wonder what it takes to stare down a powerful regime and refuse to be silenced? Today, we're talking about Maria Corina Machado, a woman whose journey from a privileged background to a global symbol of defiance is a masterclass in courage. Born on October 7, 1967, in Caracas, Venezuela, Maria Corina grew up in a prominent and highly educated family. Her father was a leading industrialist, and her mother was a dedicated philanthropist. In their home, conversations weren't just about business, they were about ethics, development, and the future of their country. This environment planted a seed in young Maria Corina, the belief that with great privilege comes great responsibility. She was a star student, confident and unafraid to challenge authority even in her youth. After studying industrial engineering at a top university in Caracas, she furthered her education at IESA and Yale University, deepening her understanding of economics and governance. While many of her peers chased lucrative corporate careers, Maria Corina felt a different calling. In the early 90s, seeing the rising inequality in her country, she co-founded the Atenea Foundation. This nonprofit was dedicated to helping homeless children and youth in Caracas. Working directly with vulnerable families opened her eyes to the devastating real-world consequences of corruption and poor governance. This experience wasn't just charity work, it was the foundation of her political convictions. She came to believe that true democracy isn't just about holding elections, it's about ensuring dignity, opportunity, and fairness for every single citizen. By the early 2000s, Venezuela was changing dramatically under Hugo Chavez. Democratic institutions were being dismantled, and a culture of fear began to spread. Instead of staying silent, Maria Corina acted. In Arling Lingar, she co-founded SMET, a civil society group aimed at promoting transparent elections and citizen participation. SMET shot to prominence during the 2004 recall referendum against Chavez, mobilizing thousands of volunteers to monitor the vote. For this, the government didn't see civic duty. They saw a threat. The organization was accused of conspiracy and treason for accepting small international grants to fund its democracy work. Maria Corina herself was charged with treason, a move widely condemned as politically motivated. But she refused to be intimidated. Her defiant words became a rallying cry. They can threaten me, but they cannot silence the millions who know what freedom feels like. This was the turning point that propelled her from civic activism into the political arena. In 2010, she was elected to the Venezuelan National Assembly. Her speeches were famous for their raw, unfiltered honesty. In a now legendary televised exchange in 2012, she confronted President Chavez directly, accusing his government of nationalizing poverty and destroying freedom. The confrontation made her a household name, both adored by those who felt voiceless and reviled by those in power. Her time in office was cut short. In 2014, she was expelled from the National Assembly. Her crime? Accepting an invitation to speak at the Organization of American States to denounce human rights abuses in her country. It was a bold move that cost her the seat, but it cemented her status as a leading voice of resistance against authoritarianism. Undeterred, she founded Venti Venezuela, a political movement championing democracy, free markets, and individual liberty. She tirelessly worked to build coalitions among the fractured opposition and encouraged peaceful protest. Life during this time was incredibly difficult. She was banned from leaving the country, constantly harassed by security forces, and repeatedly disqualified from running for office. Yet, she never stopped. She continued traveling across Venezuela, often with minimal security, holding town halls and listening to the people. Her personal courage became legendary. While many other opposition leaders fled into exile, Maria Corina made the deliberate choice to stay. "If I leave," she once explained, "who will stay and fight for those who cannot?" Her presence offered a powerful message. The fight for Venezuela's future had to be won from within. Then came 2023. The opposition held a primary election to select a unified candidate to challenge the regime. Despite facing a state-run smear campaign, media blackouts, and widespread intimidation, Maria Corina Machado won a staggering victory, securing over 90% of the vote. Her message of profound change, courage, and national renewal resonated with millions of Venezuelans desperate for hope. Predictably, the government didn't allow her victory to stand. They officially disqualified her from running in the 2024 presidential election, using administrative excuses that international observers dismissed as blatant political persecution. But even this didn't stop her. She maintained her leadership, endorsed a substitute candidate, and used her immense moral authority to keep the opposition united, preventing it from collapsing into despair. By 2025, the repression had reached a fever pitch. Security forces raided the offices of Venti Venezuela, arrested her closest aides, and issued warrants for her arrest. Forced into hiding, Maria Corina moved from one safe house to another. Yet, she continued to release video messages, her voice reaching millions, urging perseverance and a commitment to a peaceful solution. Her fight became a global cause, a powerful symbol for democratic movements everywhere. Her unwavering persistence drew comparisons to figures like Aung San Suu Kyi and Malala Yousafzai, individuals who confronted tyranny with unshakable moral conviction. And then, on October 10, 2025, the world took notice in the most significant way possible. The Norwegian Nobel Committee announced that Maria Corina Machado had won the Nobel Peace Prize. The citation honored her for her tireless struggle for democracy and human rights in Venezuela, and for inspiring a peaceful movement toward freedom. She received the news while still in hiding. In a brief, emotional statement released to the world, she dedicated the award not to herself, but to her people. "This prize belongs to Venezuela," she said, "to every mother who has buried a son, to every young person who refuses to give up, and to every man and woman who believes that light will return." The Nobel Prize brought renewed, international focus to Venezuela's plight and solidified her place as a global icon, a symbol, not just of resistance but of the profound hope that courage, truth, and peace can ultimately triumph over even the most entrenched darkness. Maria Corina Machado's journey from engineer to activist, from politician to a hunted dissident, and finally, to Nobel Peace Prize laureates, a testament to the power of conviction over fear. It teaches us that peace is not the absence of conflict, but the active, courageous pursuit of justice with integrity. As she once perfectly summarized her life's mission, "They took away my position, but they will never take away my voice." Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, please consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and sharing it with others. We'll see you next time.